chat room already started up, and Texas with the news that you kind of expected, and it's official. Quinn Ewers is back and cleared to play. He will play against TCU coming up on Saturday. Not only that, Steve Sarkisian saying that he has been pretty much effort-free or any kind of issue, not even any signs of rust. His throws are in comfortable fashion, and Quinn Ewers will start against TCU on Saturday.
He does need to, I'm sure Texas would love this, if he's back next year or whatever, make it through a whole season without getting hurt. That'd be great, but it is impressive that he got back in 2 weeks, that he's good. And, you know, that they I don't think they necessarily need him against TCU. Malik Murphy's played good enough, but they got a little fast and loose at the end of the game. I think you'd rather have the guy with more experience.
Yep.
Because the one thing that and we had a couple of people make this same point this week on the show that Kansas State did not make Malik Murphy did not make Malik Murphy have to make a big play in a crunch time situation.
And that's why, in my opinion, and even though when you're on the road, you usually go for the kill if you get a 2-point conversion attempt like Dana did against Baylor, or in the case of what he did, the fourth down feeling, I just thought it was so far away at like 3 or 4 yard line. I think you extend the game because that means you have a team and offense that has come from down 27-7. Yes, some help by Texas with the mistakes and turnovers, but I think you extend the game because your quarterback is red hot and you're waiting for the younger guy to make the mistake again.
Yeah,
so
I like that was the factor that made it different. And so they didn't push the issue when they had the shot. And if I'm Texas, I don't want to give TCU, Iowa State, or Tech that same opportunity if I don't have to, because look, if Quinn Ewers is healthy, you got to play him. Plus, you want him in rhythm. Right now, it's them and Oklahoma State in the championship game.
Right.
You want him throwing darts in the next month.
There's 3 games left. In a month, you're playing. This weekend, you're playing in a month from now. Also, Catalina and Crawford are back, defensive backs. Crawford played high school ball, by the way, at what is now Tyler High School, John Tyler. They're available against TCU. The full allotment of the roster, according to Sarkisian today, is available. Christian Jones and Kelvin Banks, who missed some time against Kansas State, they're available. So they are full throttle, it appears, against TCU. I spoke with Brian Estridge, voice of TCU, earlier today. That will be a part of tomorrow's show between 3 and 6.
I do think it bears, it's good, especially if it happens to some, and at least in modern school history, before the history buffs of pre-World War II football jump my backside here, I'm talking about, like, in modern history, by far TCU's best season ever. Like, there's not another one that compares at all, given especially the modern context of college football. So as much as I love Doak Walker, like, we're not talking about him. He's SMU.
It was Davey O'Brien.
Davey O'Brien. Sorry. I caught it.
You're going to take shots at old men like me and old people and older generations, even older than me.
Like, sometimes when you say, like, the greatest season in their history, they'll be like, what about 1926? You're like, oh, please. Eat a bag of you-know-what. Like, it's it's so different.
Yep.
But they had the best season, and then here they are staring bowl elimination in the face.
Yes, they are.
They've got to win 2 of their next 3. They'll likely win one of them. Next week against Baylor, they'll be favored in that one, but the 2 surrounding it are not gimmies. And and they're going to not be favored against Texas. Yeah, they are going to be looking at so they'd be 4 and 6 this week and have to go 2-0 on the way out if they lose to Texas. So it's really strange that would happen. Usually there's not so much of a precipitous drop. You know, like even if you compare to Clemson and how they're not who they used to be, it was a 3-year thing of like, well, okay, they lost a couple here. They lost a lot of offensive linemen. Oh, they lost another one here. They still won the conference. They still made it to and then, like, you just saw it this year where all the things that they were kind of holding together, Dabo's got to go back to the drawing board. I don't know if Sonny has to go completely back to the drawing board, but he does have to look at how do you go from the mountaintop to at least the mountain middle in a year, because Baylor, like Dave Aranda's doing that right now, going, how is this going on and how did it happen so fast? Usually you have a buffer zone.
Yeah. No.
You have some time where
Yep.
you know.
Yep. But yeah, and also the Big 12 has a history. Well, maybe not because Oklahoma really won a bunch of them, but they have a history of teams who then fly up to the top, but the following year struggle because they're not as consistent, but still they have the opportunities. Oklahoma State's been really consistent over the years under Gundy. Baylor, of course, had the team in 19 that played for the title and lost to Oklahoma. And then the next year they had 2-7. Matt Rule, of course, moved on. And then Baylor went 12-2. And then we know what happened last year at 6-7. Now, when I first saw this tweet, I'm like,